Shit, what was I just saying?
Love is hard.
Yeah.
I could just keep ignoring stuff that has bothered me. As I was working out this morning, I feel like I need to reach out to my actual father. Not because I want to talk to him, I don't want to build a relationship with him, but I want to know, why did you leave? Because I feel like there's shit that as a 30-year-old man shouldn't still be looming over me. And it's stuff like that where I'm like, man, I need to know that some of these answers to this shit, because I got some demons. I have a lot of trauma that we all do. But the more I stop and assess my life, I'm like, fuck, what you went through is not normal. These circumstances are not what's happening in most people's lives. So then I'm like, okay, I got some issues then.
It impacts you more than you even probably realize.
And that's what I'm starting to realize. Fuck, there's a lot of stuff that's happened. I was having flashback triggers of people I was in relationships with, and having a conversation with someone and being like, oh my God, why did I just say that? And then you're looking back and this person reminds me exactly of another person who I used to spend way too much time with. And I shouldn't feel this way.
Right.
It's not until you get into it and you face plant really fucking hard. We're you know what? I gotta check myself, because I like to think I'm pretty self-aware, but I know that I can get better.
Yeah.
And I feel I don't know shit. Maybe I need to talk to a therapist.
Absolutely.
And talk to a professional who can tell me what the fuck's going on in my head, because we'll be honest, in the black community, it ain't cool to go to a therapist.
Yeah.
We get therapy for all other parts of our lives except for our minds. It's socially, you gotta go get your knee fixed or get your treatment done.
Yeah.
But when your mind's not right, it's ooh, you went and talked to a shrink? You motherfucking right, I went and talked to a shrink. I need to talk to one.
Well, and it's so complicated. The mind is so complicated, and the way that we're influenced by certain scenarios, whether or not you want to be affected by said scenarios. Yeah. And like you said, it's from years and years ago that just planted this horrible little seed back here. And now 15, 20, 25 years later, it rears its ugly head. And you don't even know where the hell it came from. You're like, why am I reacting this way?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And the mind glues everything together.
And you only
really, come on.
The people I find that it happens to the most are the people I appreciate the most, which is it's a sad thing. But I feel what is it? Hurt people, and there's this other we always hurt the people that's closest to us, because at some point we're you know what? And this is how I felt this past week. I was you know what? I'm hurting right now.
Yeah.
I need somebody else to feel as much hurt as I feel, and I can't really hurt a stranger like that.
No,
because they don't give a fuck. Let me find somebody who I really appreciate and kick them in their ass.
You know what's weird about that though too is in some ways we do that because we know they'll forgive us, or we think they'll forgive us. I don't know if we do that intentionally for that, but I think that subconsciously that's why it happens. We get in a fight with my wife, for instance. I know how to piss her off. My brother, I know how to piss him off. Yeah, I'm way better at it now because I went to therapy and got the shit checked out.
When we think about our loved ones, we assume that love is unconditional.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when we lash out or we take it out on someone that you don't mean it to, but for exactly that reason, Dwayne,
they'll forgive me.
I know how to, they'll forgive me, but I know how to get under their skin. So if I want to make someone feel the way that I'm feeling right now, it's really easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes love isn't always unconditional.
It's
and
not.
When you don't think about what you're saying and you say some shit that you can't take back, then that's when it's really hard. And it's not to say that it didn't come from a place where you really meant it, but maybe you shouldn't have meant it in that moment.
That's facts.
Because, you know, wordsmithing is a nuance, right?
I have an English minor. So,
words.
I know. And I think that's the most frustrating part is these things that we subconsciously are really good at, or even don't know how good. Yeah. Think about kids. Kids are really good at manipulating their, they learn, if I do this to dad and do this to mom, I get what I want. So from the beginning of time, we know how to maneuver ourselves and put ourselves in the position to get what we want. So I think the more you learn words, it's I could do this in a way that's really not very nice. But what I'm really starting to realize is I don't think my gift is in words.
Okay.
I think that with realizing how frustrating Instagram has become for me, I'm not channeling my art through ways through that platform that are satisfying to me.
Okay.
So I'm like, you know what? How do I take this frustration and instead of talking a bunch of shit to somebody, how do I channel this creatively to do something that makes me less of an asshole? Because I need to not be one. Like it will be
Put it into art and not into people.
right. Yeah. So if I can take the pain, the frustration, the anger, the fear, the insecurity, the sadness, whatever, and send that through something artistic, whether it's through a video or through, you know, maybe it is words through a conversation like through this podcast. But I really feel like, you know, you see the This Is America video. You see a lot of the visuals that even Kendrick with Damn, you're like, man, like
It's heavy.
I gotta be able to find a way to talk about pain and hurt without telling it to somebody whose feelings I'm gonna hurt. And we see all these artists. Kanye is a fucking prime example. His pain and his truth is in his music. You could feel how he feels through his music. Some of the art that I've created, I feel like you could feel how I feel through the stories that I'm telling, but I feel like there's another layer to that. Or there's another level to, like, there's many more levels to that. And I feel like I've kind of hit the top of this creative ceiling through the ways that I'm creating art, and I need to find another way to get into another level
Deeper.
and I think that I'm going to use traumatic situations in my life and things that really suck and find a way to deal with them.
Yeah.
Use art as therapy without actually having to talk to a person.
I try to tell people that, like, there are so many people who...
Oh, I'm so fucking glad I'm getting to get this off my chest right now. I'm dead ass, yo.
It's important.
Dead ass.
Like, people... Okay, so people look at my art sometimes, and my art has had different aspects to it. Some darker things and some not so dark. But people feel like, well, why can't you just use your talent to paint flowers or make pretty things or make happy things? Why are you making negative things? Why are you talking? But I'm like, because I don't want to do that as a fucking human being. I'd rather do it in my art because it's coming out one way or the other.
Yeah.
And it's coming out. I'd rather do it on canvas or in drawing or something.
Then
Why does everything have to look like
Lauren, you know
flowers or
why.
positivity?
Lauren, you know why.
Because people don't want to sit in being uncomfortable. But but there's a spectrum to all these things. It's part of the human condition. Part of what makes us human is that we can emote and acknowledge those emotions and the way that we feel about things. So to pretend like everything's roses all the time just isn't sensical, nor is it our experience. It will never be our experience, and we wouldn't know what happiness is if we didn't have sadness, if we didn't have pain, if we didn't have those negative experiences from which to draw.
Is it the sharing of it that draws that line? Because yes, everyone goes through shit.
Yeah.
But for you to create some form of art and then like, hey, everyone, look at this. Is that where the like? Oh, I don't want to see your pain. Like,
I think so. It makes other people feel uncomfortable. They think art has one purpose, and it's to make them feel good. They feel selfish about it, and they feel like an ownership over it. You're putting this out into my vision and my ears and my senses. So I don't like the way you're making me feel. But I'm like, well, it's my art. I'll do whatever I want with my art.
Right.
You don't have to like it. But yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it just makes people feel uncomfortable and they don't like feeling that way.
But
I
it makes
guarantee
you
that
feel.
shirt that you're wearing would make a lot of people uncomfortable.
It makes people extremely...
I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
The text below it is the racist email that was sent to me.
Yeah.
So it's like...
We will not be gaslit, folks.
I just came to a point where I'm tired of protecting people's feelings for my art.
Yes.
You know? I don't care anymore.
I'm gonna learn some of that from you. No, I'm gonna learn some of that from you. And I put it out to both of you a couple of days ago, and Pete and Jesse and Brielle and Gabe about this idea for this thing I want to make that will soothe my creative juices. I really feel like I need to do this artistic thing.
Sounds crazy.
It is kind
I'm
of fucked
excited.
up. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
kinda-
don't care though. That's
No,
gonna
I
be
like
awesome.
it. That's what I'm saying. Crazy in a good way.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really, for my creative soul, and I feel like for my emotional well-being in general, because this I feel like will be the first time where I remember, like, you know what? I don't care how anybody feels about this thing I'm making. Fuck you guys and your feelings. I'm making this. I'm making it for me. Here's how it goes down. This is what it is. I feel like with musicians too, that's a thing where it's like we're gonna make music for the fans, or we're gonna make music true to self.
Right.
I feel like a lot of the stuff, as a freelancer, a lot of the stuff I'm doing is I'm making it for other people.
Exactly. That's what happened to me, man. Glitterati Communications was all about for other people. Art Pays Me was like, this is for me.
Yeah.
It just happens to be a commercial product, but it's for me.
Right. Yeah.
So I know exactly what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Like there was a point where you have this talent and you're like, I can make money off of this talent. And then you realize when I was in art school, I kind of fell out of love with art because I was so busy doing it to pass a class.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing it on my own. And then when I was like, what kind of art do I actually want to make? I had no clue.
Yeah.
None. So
It's tough, man.
Yeah.
But we're figuring it out. That was my lesson of the week. Love is hard,
cool.
but find ways to love better.